The alien girl had no cure, but his human DNA was the answer. The vast emptiness of space shimmered with an eerie silence, broken only by the gentle hum of the research vessel Horizon. Dr. Kai Nakamura stood at the observation deck, his dark eyes scanning the infinite darkness. Years of xenobiological research had prepared him for many possibilities, but nothing could have prepared him for what was about to unfold. A soft alarm pierced the quiet of the ship. Kai's fingers danced across the holographic display, pulling up the sensor readings. Something was approaching, something that defied every known protocol of space travel. The object moved with an organic fluidity that contradicted mechanical navigation, its silhouette shifting like liquid mercury against the star-studded backdrop. "Commander Rodriguez," Kai called into the communication system, "you're going to want to see this." Elena Rodriguez materialized moments later, her weathered face a map of curiosity and caution. She had commanded deep space missions for over 2 decades, but this was different. The approaching vessel seemed to pulse with an almost living energy. "Biosignature?" she asked, her voice steady. Kai's response was a mixture of scientific excitement and profound uncertainty. "Unlike anything in our database, it's not just alive, it's sentient in a way we've never encountered." The ship, if it could be called that, began to emit a soft, rhythmic luminescence. Waves of iridescent light rippled across its surface, creating patterns that seemed to communicate something beyond simple electromagnetic signals. Kai felt a strange sensation, like whispers at the edge of his consciousness. "We're being invited," he murmured, more to himself than to Elena. Suddenly, a crystalline projection materialized in the center of the observation deck. It was a being humanoid but distinctly alien. Translucent skin that shifted between silver and deep blue, eyes that held entire galaxies within their depths. A female form, elegant and otherworldly, yet carrying an unmistakable sense of urgency. "I am Zara of the Lumina Collective," the projection spoke, not through sound but directly into their minds. "Your species is our last hope." Elena's hand instinctively moved to her communication panel, but Kai stopped her. Something in Zara's transmission spoke of desperation beyond typical first contact scenarios. "A plague," Zara continued, her mental voice laden with sorrow, "has decimated my people. Our biological systems are failing. We have searched countless star systems, and your genetic structure contains something unique." Kai leaned forward, his scientific mind racing. A potential interspecies medical breakthrough or something far more complex. "We do not wish to invade," Zara's projection wavered, showing glimpses of a dying world, crystalline structures crumbling, once vibrant beings reduced to shadows. "We seek collaboration, survival." The horizon hung suspended in space, 2 species on the precipice of a moment that would redefine everything they understood about life, survival, and the intricate connections that bind intelligent beings across the universe. Kai exchanged a look with Elena. Their next decision would change everything. The medical bay of the horizon transformed into a collaboration unlike any in human history. Dr. Kai Nakamura worked alongside Zara's holographic projection, medical scanners, and alien technology merging in a delicate dance of scientific exploration. "Your immune system is extraordinary," Kai muttered, analyzing the complex genetic markers displayed on the holographic screen. Strands of human DNA twisted and intertwined with alien genetic sequences, revealing intricate patterns of resilience. Elena Rodriguez stood nearby, her military background making her cautious yet intrigued. "How long do your people have?" she asked Zara's projection. The alien's form flickered, revealing glimpses of a world on the brink of extinction. "Months, perhaps less," Zara responded, her mental voice carrying a weight of collective sorrow. "Our biological systems are collapsing. The plague attacks at the genetic level, dismantling our cellular structures with ruthless precision." Kai's fingers moved across the holographic interface, pulling up comparative analyses. The Lumina Collective's genetic makeup was fundamentally different from human biology, more complex, more interconnected. Yet something in human DNA seemed to possess a unique adaptive mechanism that the alien species lacked. It's our immune system's ability to mutate, Kai explained, turning to Alina. Humans have an extraordinary capacity for genetic adaptation. Where most species would collapse, we reconfigure. Zara's projection moved closer, her crystalline form casting prismatic reflections across the medical bay. We have studied your species for decades. Your ability to survive in diverse environments, to adapt to seemingly impossible conditions, it's more than biological. It's a form of genetic creativity. Alina raised an eyebrow. You've been watching us. Observing, Zara corrected. Not interfering. Your species represents something rare in the cosmic ecosystem, a biological system that doesn't just survive but reimagines survival. The implications were staggering. Humanity wasn't just another species in the universal catalog, they were potential salvation for an entire civilization. Kai began preparing the first experimental treatment, a complex cocktail of human genetic material carefully modified to interface with the Lumina Collective's biological systems. Each molecule was a potential bridge between two entirely different forms of life. The risks are significant, Kai cautioned. We're talking about cross-species genetic manipulation at a level never attempted before. One miscalculation could be catastrophic. Alina placed a hand on his shoulder. We didn't come this far to hesitate now. Zara's projection showed something almost like a smile, a subtle shift in her crystalline form that suggested emotion beyond human comprehension. Your willingness to help a species you've never met, this is why we chose humanity. The first experimental treatment was prepared. A single vial of modified genetic material that represented humanity's potential to heal, to connect, to transcend biological limitations. We'll need a volunteer, Kai said, looking at Alina, someone willing to undergo the initial genetic transfer protocol. Alina stepped forward without hesitation. I'll do it. Zara's projection pulsed with an energy that felt like gratitude, hope, and profound respect. The mission to save the Lumina Collective had moved beyond scientific experiment. It had become a testament to the extraordinary potential of life itself, a bridge between two species separated by unimaginable distances, united by the most fundamental drive of all, survival. The horizon hung in space, a crucible of hope, preparing to challenge everything known about genetic science, interspecies communication, and the boundaries of biological possibility. The medical bay hummed with an otherworldly energy as Alina Rodriguez underwent the experimental genetic transfer. Kai watched the holographic monitors with intense concentration, each reading a delicate dance of human and alien genetic codes. Zara's projection hovered nearby, her crystalline form pulsing with a rhythm that seemed to sync with Alina's vital signs. The integration is unlike anything we've witnessed, she communicated telepathically. Your commander's body is not just accepting the genetic modification, it's engaging with it. Kai nodded, his fingers tracing the complex genetic pathways. Humans have always been adaptable. Our survival has depended on our ability to change, to find solutions where others see only obstacles. Alina's body was undergoing a transformation that defied conventional medical understanding. Microscopic changes rippled through her cellular structure, creating hybrid genetic patterns that bridged two entirely different biological systems. Her skin took on a subtle iridescence, her breathing became deeper, more rhythmic. The plague that decimated our civilization, Zara explained, is more than a biological threat. It's a systemic breakdown of our genetic integrity. Each generation becomes weaker, our connection to our collective consciousness more fragile. Suddenly, the ship's emergency systems flashed. A massive energy signature approached, something far beyond the typical space debris or stellar phenomenon they'd encountered. Incoming, shouted the ship's AI system, unidentified quantum-level disturbance. Kai rushed to the observation deck with Zara's projection following. The space outside transformed. What appeared to be empty vacuum began to ripple and fold, creating intricate geometric patterns that seemed to breathe with an internal logic. A massive structure emerged, not a ship in any traditional sense, but a living construct that defied comprehension. Crystalline tendrils extended from its core, each appendage a complex network of biological and technological integration. The source, Zara's mental voice, carried a mixture of reverence and fear, the origin point of our civilization's genetic memory. Alina stumbled into the observation deck, her body still adjusting to the genetic transfer. Her eyes, now flecked with silver, took in the cosmic marvel before her. "What am I seeing?" she asked, her voice carrying an echo of something beyond human. Kai explained, his scientific mind racing to comprehend the phenomenon. "It's more than a ship, it's a living repository of genetic information, the collective memory of an entire civilization preserved in a quantum state." The structure began to communicate not through traditional means but through a complex language of quantum resonances and genetic frequencies. Images flooded their minds. A civilization that had once spanned multiple star systems, a complex society built on collective consciousness, and the gradual decay that had brought them to the brink of extinction. "We are witnessing the last breath of a dying civilization," Zara communicated, her projection becoming more substantial, "and potentially its rebirth." Alina felt something changing within her. The genetic transfer was more than a medical procedure, it was a bridge between two species, a potential solution to a cosmic tragedy. The source pulsed, sending waves of information that threatened to overwhelm their consciousness. Genetic memories, centuries of knowledge, the collective experiences of an entire species, all converging on the horizon. Kai realized they were no longer just observers. They had become participants in a cosmic drama of survival, adaptation, and the fundamental quest to preserve life against insurmountable odds. The universe seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see what would emerge from this unprecedented convergence of human determination and alien desperation. The horizon trembled as the quantum structure, the source, began to interface directly with the ship's systems. Kai Nakamura watched in a mixture of scientific awe and growing apprehension as complex genetic patterns danced across every available display. Alina Rodriguez stood at the center of this cosmic maelstrom, her body continuing to change. The genetic transfer had awakened something profound within her. Memories that were not her own began to surface. Fragments of an alien civilization flickered through her consciousness like broken memories of a dream. "The integration is accelerating," Zara's holographic form warned, her crystalline body becoming more substantial with each passing moment. "Your commander is becoming more than human, more than Lumina, she is becoming something entirely new." Kai monitored the readings, his hands moving frantically across the holographic interfaces. The genetic transfer is creating a hybrid consciousness. It's not just combining biological systems, it's merging entire experiential frameworks. Alina's eyes, now a swirling mix of human brown and alien silver, focused on something beyond the physical realm. "I can see them," she whispered. "All of them, every life, every memory of the Lumina Collective." The source continued to pulse, sending waves of quantum information that threatened to overwhelm the ship's systems. Crystalline tendrils extended, connecting with the horizon's core infrastructure, transforming the vessel into something more than a mere spacecraft. "We are witnessing the birth of a new form of existence," Zara communicated, her mental voice carrying both excitement and profound sadness. "But such transformations always come with a cost." Kai understood the implication. The genetic bridge they were creating would save the Lumina Collective, but at what price? Alina was no longer entirely human. The memories, experiences, and genetic legacy of an entire civilization were rewriting her very essence. "The plague that decimated our people," Zara explained, "was more than a biological weapon. It was a systematic attack on our collective consciousness. Each generation lost more of its connection, more of its collective memory. The ship's medical systems began to fail. Traditional human technology couldn't process the quantum-level transformations occurring within Alina's body. Her cellular structure was becoming a living bridge between two species, a potential salvation and a profound mutation. "We need to stabilize the transfer," Kai shouted, fighting against the overwhelming flood of information. "If we lose control, we could lose everything: Alina, the potential cure, the entire Lumina genetic legacy." Alina's body began to levitate, suspended in a field of quantum energy. Her form shifted, becoming translucent, then solid, then something in between. The memories of millions of Lumina beings crashed through her consciousness like waves of liquid light. The source responded, its quantum tendrils creating a protective field around the horizon. It was no longer just observing, it was participating, guiding the transformation. "Humanity's greatest strength," Zara's voice resonated, "has always been its ability to adapt, to become something new when survival demands it." Kai watched in a mixture of horror and wonder. They had begun this mission to save an alien civilization. Now they were witnessing the birth of something far more profound, a new form of life that transcended the boundaries of species, consciousness, and known biological limitations. The universe held its breath, waiting to see what would emerge from this unprecedented convergence of human determination and alien genetic potential. The quantum field surrounding Alina Rodriguez began to stabilize, but the transformation was far from complete. Kai Nakamura watched with a mixture of scientific fascination and deep concern as his colleague hovered between states of being part human, part Lumina, and something entirely unprecedented. "The genetic memories are creating a new consciousness," Zara's holographic form explained, her crystalline projection flickering with intense energy. "What we're witnessing is more than a cure, it's a complete reimagining of biological existence." Kai's hands moved across the holographic interfaces, tracking the extraordinary changes. Alina's DNA had become a living bridge, each cell a complex tapestry of human adaptability and Lumina genetic potential. Her body radiated a soft, pulsing light that seemed to breathe with its own rhythm. The source, the quantum construct that had appeared during their mission, remained connected to the horizon, its crystalline tendrils creating intricate patterns of communication. It was no longer just a repository of genetic memory, but an active participant in this cosmic transformation. "We are losing her," Kai muttered, watching the vital signs that defied all medical understanding. "Or becoming her, I'm not sure which." Alina's consciousness expanded beyond her physical form. Memories of the Lumina Collective flooded her mind, millennia of experiences, the rise and fall of civilizations, the profound interconnectedness of a species that had once spanned entire star systems. She could feel the pain of their genetic decay, the desperation that had driven them to seek out humanity as their last hope. "The plague was more than a biological weapon," Alina spoke, her voice carrying multiple resonances, human and alien intertwined. "It was a systematic attack on consciousness itself." Zara's projection moved closer. "Your species' ability to adapt, to survive, it is our salvation. Humanity represents something unique in the cosmic ecosystem, not just survival but reinvention." The medical bay transformed. Quantum energy created intricate geometric patterns, biological systems reconfiguring themselves in real time. Kai watched as Alina's body became a living laboratory, each moment revealing new possibilities of genetic potential. "The cure is not just about healing," Alina continued, her consciousness expanding. "It's about understanding. The Lumina Collective's greatest weakness was its rigidity. Humanity's strength is its capacity for change." The source pulsed in agreement, sending waves of quantum information that rippled through the ship's systems. It was creating something new, a genetic framework that could save an entire civilization while simultaneously revealing the profound potential of interspecies collaboration. Kai realized they had crossed a threshold. This was no longer a simple medical mission. They were rewriting the fundamental understanding of life, consciousness, and biological potential. "We are becoming," Alina whispered, her form shifting between solid and translucent. "Not just saving, not just healing, becoming." The horizon hung in the vast emptiness of space, a crucible of transformation. The boundary between human and alien, between individual and collective, between life and potential began to dissolve. Zara's projection looked at Kai, her crystalline form reflecting the profound change unfolding before them. "This is why we chose humanity," she communicated. "Not for your technology, not for your biology, but for your capacity to reimagine what is possible." The universe seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see what would emerge from this extraordinary moment of cosmic rebirth. The quantum fields surrounding the horizon began to stabilize, but the transformation was far from complete. Kai Nakamura stood at the precipice of the most significant scientific discovery in human history, a moment that would redefine the very concept of life and consciousness. Alina Rodriguez, or what Alina had become, was no longer purely human or lumina. She was a living bridge between species, a testament to the extraordinary potential of adaptive consciousness. Her body continued to pulse with an inner light that seemed to breathe with the rhythm of the universe itself. "We are approaching the final stage of integration," Zara's holographic projection communicated, her crystalline form now more substantial than ever. "The genetic memories of the Lumina Collective are finding their new home." The source, the quantum construct that had appeared during their mission, remained intimately connected to the horizon. Its crystalline tendrils had become an extension of the ship, creating a living network that defied traditional understanding of technology and biology. Kai watched as Alina's consciousness continued to expand. Memories of two entire civilizations merged within her, the rigid, collective consciousness of the Lumina and the adaptable, individual spirit of humanity. Each moment revealed new layers of possibility. "The cure is more than genetic," Alina spoke, her voice a harmonious blend of multiple resonances. "It's a complete reimagining of survival." The medical bay had transformed into a quantum laboratory. Biological systems reconfigured themselves in real time, creating intricate patterns that danced between matter and energy. Kai understood now that they were witnessing something far beyond a simple medical intervention. This was the birth of a new form of existence. Zara's projection moved closer, her form reflecting the profound changes unfolding. "Your species represents a unique potential in the cosmic ecosystem, not just survival but continuous reinvention." The Lumina genetic memories revealed the true nature of their decline. It wasn't just a plague that had decimated their civilization, it was a fundamental failure of adaptation. Their collective consciousness, once their greatest strength, had become their ultimate weakness. Humanity's individual resilience was the key to their salvation. "We are becoming," Alina continued, her form shifting between multiple states of existence. "Not just healing, not just saving, evolving." The source pulsed in agreement, sending waves of quantum information that rippled through the ship's systems. It was creating a new genetic framework, one that could save the Lumina Collective while simultaneously revealing the profound potential of interspecies collaboration. Kai realized they had crossed a threshold that would forever change humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. This was more than first contact. This was a fundamental reimagining of life itself. "The boundaries between species are an illusion," Alina communicated, her consciousness expanding beyond the physical realm. "Survival is about connection, about understanding, about becoming." The horizon hung in the vast emptiness of space, a crucible of transformation. The line between individual and collective, between human and alien, between life and potential began to dissolve completely. Zara's projection looked at Kai, her crystalline form reflecting the profound change unfolding before them. "This is the gift of humanity," she communicated. "The ability to see beyond what is, to imagine what could be." The universe seemed to pause, holding its breath, waiting to witness the emergence of something entirely new, a synthesis of consciousness that would challenge everything known about life, adaptation, and the fundamental nature of existence.